Hey guys, it's Ihasnotomato here. Welcome back to another Ihasnotomato Draws. And this week, I thought I'd cross something off of my little to-do list, which was to redraw, or rather, draw initially, the Goldrush update, which is a video I made like over a year ago. TF2 history, that is. Because of course that is the first episode in that series, and the first ever major update. And the reason I'm doing this is because recently, as you know, I don't know, I fiddled around a bit with the thumbnails and like my drawings and things like that, and essentially someone brought up in the TF2 heavy update speed draw thing, because I made that drawing just for like just the title card within the video, and someone said, why not just make them the thumbnails? And I'm just like, you know what, yeah, why not? Like, I had some reason in my mind because it was like too difficult or something. I think it was mainly because like I'd have to redraw the Goldrush one for consistency's sake, you know. But yeah, no, I was like, yeah, why not? I'll just do that. So I changed it so that the thumbnail for the heavy update, rather, was the drawing that I did. I changed the pyro one to the one that I drew years ago, which I didn't do a speed drawing of, but I did draw that one. And then I changed because another video was using that, which was why I made pyro, and I changed the why I made pyro video thumbnail to the speed drawing that I did do in this series. So if you can wrap your head around that, there you go. I'm going to be honest with you guys. Originally, I wasn't going to do this one this week. So if you hear birds, by the way, I'm currently in a situation where it's very difficult to find time to record, because I like to record alone in an empty house, and certain life events have prevented that from happening, so I'm having to constantly relocate myself pretty much daily. Anyway, but yes, originally I was going to actually draw a Splatoon one, because as some of you might know, I've been playing a bit of Splatoon recently, but unfortunately I actually ran into a bit of technical problems with Splatoon, essentially being that my internet at my house, because I was able to play it at my place I was house sitting, just won't allow it. My NAT type, N-A-T type, is D apparently at my house, so which means that you cannot play it, which is kind of bullshit and annoying. I spent about a week trying to fix it, and I was just kind of over it. And when it came actually time to do the speed drawing for it, I'm like, I am really not feeling it, you know. And that's something that I kind of wanted to bring in today. A bit of a topic is, you know, feeling your drawings, I suppose, which is like, you can force yourself to do things, but, you know, I wouldn't advise it, because there's chances are you're not going to be putting as much, I guess, love into the work as you could be. I mean, I understand that sometimes you have deadlines and stuff like that, but I think even in those situations you can get into the work, but especially when it's something like this, or it's my own, like, accord, I really didn't want to force myself to draw a picture that I didn't feel like drawing, just straight up. I was like, nah, couldn't do it. Didn't want to make a half-assed, you know, drawing that would be, you know, low quality, and, you know, I clearly wasn't in it. This is just my personal thing, of course, but I don't know, I think it can be important. But anyway, back to the topic at hand. We are drawing the medic, because this is the Goldrush update. For those of you who don't know, I haven't seen the video, I haven't caught up, or don't know the history of Team Fortress 2, the very first update was, of course, the Goldrush update, which added Goldrush, which was the very first payload map, so the game mode payload, and also gave the medic his first, I guess, major update, which gave him his achievements and his first 3 items, one of which being the Ubersaw. Man, I feel so drony when I say things like that. I feel like one of those other YouTubers who just kind of read off a script. I don't know why. It felt so like technical to me. I don't know. This series, I don't want it to be like that. This is like a chill out series. This is essentially just me, you know, talking about my drawings. But yeah, the drawing itself, you know, I'm pretty happy with it. I think we're like it's one of those situations where this is another like really, really good tip. Like, this is one of those tips where like you go, oh, it can't be that big, but you know, I would recommend trying it. And then like I find myself standing more and more. If you're ever like spending a long time in a drawing, and you go, I don't know about this, I really don't know. Seriously, like give it a night. You know what I mean? Like, you've been working on it all night. You're like, all right. You're thinking, I'm not sure about this. Go to sleep. Wake up with fresh eyes, and then look at it. And I think you'll find that your opinion might just change on it. It's done it for me with a couple drawings in the past, because like, particularly with my webcomic which I've been working on, I spent like over 10 hours or something on like one page, and by the end of it I'm just like, this is like, I'm just not into it, I'm not feeling it. I feel like that I've drawn it too much and I just wasn't sure. And then the next morning I looked at it and I'm like, wow, that actually looks pretty damn good, and I was really happy with myself. So that's a bit of a situation with this one where I was kind of like, I guess, winding down at this point. I mean, you can tell that it's like 5 or 6. I can't actually tell from where I'm looking at it for right now, when I drew this, but like, I don't know. I was sort of like double guessing myself. And there are a couple of things. I don't want to say this is like the perfect drawing. I mean, like, I'm no stranger to pointing out my own faults, but I'll say this: I think that the shoulder width is too narrow, particularly because that's the thing with males, particularly, they have larger width shoulders. That's a little drawing tip for you there. And also, like, as a result, the head is too big as well, because it was trying to do a bit of a foreshortening thing, but I made the head maybe just a bit too big. But I'll tell you a little strategy that I did here as well. A little thing that I'm pretty proud of how it worked out. I wanted to make the medic look a little bit younger, because I wanted to imply that, like, this is the first update, you know, everyone's young and all of that, no one's jaded and old yet. So what I did was, I actually didn't include his, like, kind of stubble beard, and I just kind of let his hair come down a little bit, and I didn't put in as many, like, crease details and stuff in his face and stuff, and I think it worked out pretty well. He looks just a little bit younger, but still looks like the medic, and I'm pretty happy with that. You can tell that. Also, the reason I went a bit crazy with his hair color there is that I thought he looked a bit like Elvis or something, so I gave him a bit of a pompadour. Can you get like a pompadour like hairstyle? I feel like he can. That's kind of funny. Of course, here's a little bit of TF2 trivia, which of course we'll get to one day, but hats were not in the game at this point, so it's a little in fact, from where we are in the series right now, we still got another 2 major updates before we get any hats. But yeah. So yeah, even though this you might argue that this drawing isn't necessarily necessary in any regard, because, like, you know, it is for an old video, and I don't know if it's going to make a difference in people actually wanting to watch it or not. But I don't know. It just felt appropriate to me. It's something I really wanted to do. You know, I've never drawn like the medic or anything like that before. I pretty much exclusively have only ever drawn the pyro and the heavy's hand once. So that's why I'm kind of looking forward to this the TF2 Update History series continuing on a bit, because I'm definitely going to be drawing the thumbnails for each one, and I'm excited for that. If you're wondering how often they're going to come out, not very, because it's supposed to be sort of like a side series sort of thing, which is like going on over a long period of time. Sorry, I keep scratching my face. I'm very itchy face today, apparently. What was it? Oh yes, yeah. I don't expect them to come out too often, but I'm glad that so many people are really enjoying it though. So like, maybe I'll be able to push them out a bit more often, but we'll see. Honestly, like I said, I'm really just waiting for the bar update to come out. I know I feel like I've talked about it so many times, but like, it's gonna be like the thing for my channel, you know. It's gonna be like this. This is like, I'm gonna have so many. I have so many videos lined up and ready to be made, you know. I'm just gotta wait for that dang update to come out. Oh well. I tried a little bit of a different strategy here. I normally exclusively do cell shading, which is where where you just kind of, where the shadows and the highlights and stuff, they're like cut lines, very slick lines. So like you can see between like the red there that's to the dark, it's just like a cut line. It's not like a transition. But I decided that I'd try and copy the TF2 style a little bit, where their highlights aren't exclusively cell shading. Instead, like, there's a bit of a fade. So what I did was I used the spray paint tool to try and make that kind of like faded highlights on his gloves and stuff there, as you might see. If you provide, I can stop moving around. Now the background here. What I'm doing is I just filled that in so I can kind of see where I've accidentally gone over the lines and fixing them. What I did for the background was I actually went into Gmod, went into a Goldrush of Gmod, a Gmod of Goldrush, whatever. And I took a photo of where I roughly wanted the background to be. Now you might argue, why not just use that background? Well, it felt a bit ingenuine to just draw it and then like having a picture background. So what I'm doing here is I'm actually doing what I did for the TF2 Zombies background, except the TF2 Zombies background was a little bit less complicated in terms of design. I made this sort of like two-colored background thing where I made the whole, the actual background itself like a full color, like a solid color, and then the sky a different color, like to kind of contrast it, but at the same time like give a mood, a theme. And Goldrush just to me kind of screams out like this yellow and like brown, and yeah, I was really happy with that. I think it works pretty well. It's like, you know, when I think Goldrush, I think kind of like a, you know, a western town kind of place, you know, like an old. I was trying to kind of like give the impression like an old like western movie. And yeah, I don't know. I'm actually quite happy with how it turned out in the end. Like I'd say it's got its flaws. I mean, every drawing does. Like if you were to show me any of my drawings and say, "Is this perfect?" I'd be like, "No." There's at least this. Sometimes like I'll see like errors in drawings like years later. I have this big poster that I made for a project of mine in the past, and it's on my wall. And like every like year, I feel like I see another mistake with it. But you know, that's a good sign, because that means you always have room to improve. Anyway, so that was this episode of ISNT Drawers. Is that what I call it? Ihasnotomato Drawers? I'm pretty sure what I call it. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed. And if you have any suggestions for what you might like to see me draw, leave it in the comments. Anyway, I've been Ihasnotomato, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.